just thought, man, as I was driving home and I knew that was going on, it was like I'm grateful, just a little bit of gratitude that I have some decent rifles or pistols as well. And I figured, man, I just express my gratitude that I still am free enough to own the ARs that I have. And man, I just thought maybe we could just talk about them, talk about maybe our two primary ARs. And
sounds fun.
Yeah. So let me grab, I'll ask you this, Aaron. Do you count one of your pistols as your primary home defense weapon or what? Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So I'll be straight with you. I count this AR pistol as my primary home defense. But for the internet, it's been cleared. But anyway, this is a AR pistol that kind of cool. You may recall this when I was building this, my effort was to build something inexpensive. And with Brian's help, him having his discounts and whatnot, I've only got about $650 total in this pistol. And frankly, it's got some pretty decent parts on here, and it shoots incredibly well, extremely reliable. Again, with those discounts, only about $650. Now that's not counting my old school M2 aim point here, which I still love.
Bro, didn't you have that on some gear in the sandbox?
Yeah, I sure did. This actually, even though it's a personal optic, this is what I ran on my rifle for a good portion of being a soldier, and frankly, that's what I deployed with. Interesting story, and I'll do a rundown on this pistol. My commander, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, sir, you mind if I put my personal optic on my rifle?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem, Sergeant Davis." And so, of course, I want to zero with it and I want to qualify with it. So I just went ahead. I'd already qualified, maybe a few months before, but like I might as well go ahead and qualify with it. Well, and this isn't that big of a deal. Folks that were in the Army know it's not that hard to get a 40 out of 40, but it's decent enough to get that score. Well, I figured maybe my sergeant major would have either congratulated me when he called me in his office right after. But you know what he called me in there for?
What's that?
He called me in to tell me that I had to requalify because I couldn't qualify with this red dot. Which for folks that know the regulations, of course you can qualify with your optic. It just silliness. Now, folks have heard me say this. I wasn't anything sexy. I was in a support MOS, but I took all this stuff serious. I was a competitive shooter and, of course, a martial artist well before I joined the Army. So I took this stuff serious, and I knew the regulation, and I don't remember which one it is and where it even came from, but I told him, I said, "Well, Sergeant Major, in regulation so and so. It states specifically that you can qualify with it." And know what he said at that point? "Well, Sergeant Davis, I just wanted to know that you knew the regulation."
Oh.
But Aaron, I don't
That's
really
hilarious.
think I don't really think that he did. I think that because I knew this Sergeant Major, I'm not going to mention his name. He pulled some goofy stuff.
No, man, that was him BSing his way through, not knowing what he was talking about.
Well, and the reason he knew, because he had qualified the same day. I was surprised he was out there, frankly. But
so he qualified with irons?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't remember
did he see you qualifying with that optic, or?
I don't really recall.
Yeah.
I don't really recall. I know that I ran into him out there
Mm,
because I remember, saying, "How's it going, Sergeant Major?" Which you typically do, and I'm out of respect. Of course, I respected him overall, and especially respect the position.
mm-hmm.
He was our battalion sergeant major. So, but
Well,
anyway, yeah, that was kind of a funny story. But anyway, just a little rundown. Uh, I I got a blemished BCM upper. I forget what it cost me. It was cheap, and then I'm running a ballistic advantage lower, a uh, ballistic advantage that is 10.3 barrel, running a CMMG rail system, and a battle comp for the muzzle device and the light on here. Which I'll tell you, the only thing I dislike about this light, and again, I was going on the cheap, I wanted to, is this isn't momentary only. Now it will allow you, if you hold it down long enough, it'll be momentary. But if you click it quick, it'll stay on.
hey,
Which,
bro,
yep,
Travis Haley would be on your ass about
I,
that.
I know. I thought of Travis Haley when I first got this because I didn't know that's the way the pressure switch worked, or else I might not have gotten this. But it's an inexpensive light. It's the TLR RM1,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about 500 lumens, I believe it is, which is pretty bright for a short pistol.
And bro, let me be clear. There's my dang email going through here.
Mhm.
And to be clear, I'm not saying Travis Haley's all that. I think he's a pretty good instructor,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I'm just bringing up. I recall very very vividly him getting on to you about your light staying on when we were working that dragonfly technique he was teaching us.
Oh, absolutely, and I agree completely with
It,
that.
and then did I think you borrowed one of my Enforce lights the next
Yeah.
day, didn't you?
Yeah, and I had one of those on another rifle, but I didn't have it with me. But I'm also running the Proctor sling, good old Proctor sling, man. I still love these freaking money slings.
Oh yeah.
And running Troy backup sights. Actually, the rear sight again because I used parts that I was trying to use up. I think this is an old school GG&G rear sight.
That
So
that reminds me of when Ernest Langdon was talking about his wife's rifle, calling, like every AR doesn't know who his daddy is.
Oh yeah, I mean I've definitely got. I mean you can call it a Franken gun if you want, but it was with Brian's help. I mean he's an armorer,
Oh,
and of
he
course we
knows his
gauged it,
stuff.
and oh yeah, this is a well put together
So
pistol.
forgive me, bro.
Yeah,
I was doing something while you started. That's your 300 blackout.
no, it's a 5.56.
Okay.
That's my main home defense pistol. Now what I'm running in it, I always like to
That's what I was
mention
going to
this.
ask you. What load you run in it?
So this is Black Hills. Uh, it's the 77 grain. The special ball. What is it? The Mark 262 Mod 1, I think it is. Yeah, I mean out of a shorter barrel that is, I think that round just really works well. It's been proven well in real shootings,
So,
and
bro, isn't
mm,
that the round that Kyle DeFore designed his barrel around,
yeah,
or yeah?
yeah, absolutely, and it just works great out of a shorter barrel, and our good friend Chris LaPre, he's had to use that in a real incident, and he said it performed really well, and just so happened that the incident happened with one of his 10-3 barrels. That
Interesting.
was what he was carrying. And he said he wasn't getting graphic because he's not trying to be that way, but that he said Dude just dropped. That was it.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well,
Yes.
well,
So
hey, then
that's my main home defense weapon.
well, then let's